attached and they're making announcements, listen very carefully to make sure that you get everything. And so we have to listen very carefully to make sure we go back to that. Otherwise, there's no. Our chanting is inattentive, we won't go back to that. We'll have to come back. Another strategy is the whole conception of chanting 16 rounds attentively. It sounds overwhelming. But the idea of chanting one mantra attentively may actually be possible. We may actually be able to say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You might be able to do one mantra. So if we can do one mantra attentively, we can do 16 rounds attentively. We just have to do one mantra at a time. Focus on just chanting one mantra attentively, and after you do that, then focus on chanting the next mantra attentively. And that's a strategy Burijan has advised. I have a strategy that I use, which I'll share. It helps with the attention, and also helps with chanting too slowly. One is you take a breath, and you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. You chant two mantras, and then you attentively, and then you take another breath, and you chant two mantras attentively. And this way, you can't chant too slowly, otherwise you would die of suffocation. Find your rounds were done in less than 2 hours. And you are automatically focused. There's a time when you can refocus again at the end of the breath. Okay, now I'm going to chant 2 more mantras. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, 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 Hare. Like that. So, individual japa is very individual, and there are no hard and fast rules. But different devotees have found different strategies that help them pay attention, and we can try to find something that works for us. But my realization is, if you do try to chant with attention, that the next day, when it's time to chant japa, you will look forward to chanting japa. You won't think, oh no, I gotta chant japa. Because Krishna does reciprocate with our trying to chant japa better by inspiring us to chant japa. He provides, because Krishna actually is, everything comes from within. The enthusiasm to chant japa comes from Krishna. And if we show him when we're serious about chanting japa, he'll give us that enthusiasm from within. Other things he can do is, he can increase, he can chant extra rounds on Ekadashi. My realization, if you chant extra rounds on Ekadashi, is that when the temple president announces today is Ekadashi, he'll say Jai instead of saying oh. Oh. Sometimes you hear groans. Oh no. And we can always pray to Krishna to be able to chant better. And it's very simple. It's practical. Krishna is the controller of Rishikesha, he's the controller of our senses, and we can pray to him to be able to chant with attention. So those are some ideas. And I did want to save some time for questions, so we have 1 minute for questions. Does anybody have any questions? Any remaining minute? Esther.
I have this doubt in my mind. I hope you can slash it. Whether it's really possible to have a pure faith and impure desires at the same time. You mentioned that if one has faith in the holy name when he struggles with material desires, still, how to say, it's possible to
right.
His name. No.
Well, Prabhupada actually used that phrase in the purport. You can look it up at your leisure in the database. That so a person who understands that there's no difference between the Lord and His holy name is a pure devotee, even though in the neophyte stage. So neophyte devotee means they have material desires. So Prabhupada thought it was possible, and that's basically how we increase. I mean, that's why our chanting is purifying. You know, if our chanting was just offensive, then we wouldn't become purified by the chanting. But the chanting is purifying us. Right? That's because because of whatever faith we have. There's another interesting thing, which I guess I really don't have time to tell. Maybe I could tell it quickly. Some people in the beginning are very enthusiastic to chant japa, but later on they lose the impetus. Right? People say it's like Krishna gives you some special impetus when you come to Krishna consciousness. Ravindranath Swarupa Prabhu analyzed that as that when you come, because you don't know what the offenses are, you're chanting is Namabhas, which is on the clearing stage, which is a liberated stage, and therefore you feel liberation, feel relief from the material life when you first come to devotional service. But to maintain your situation on the clearing stage, on the liberated stage, on the Namabhasa stage, you have to try to give up the offenses once you learn of them. If you don't try to give up the offenses, you fall down from Namabhasa to Namaparad. Namaparad is a conditioned stage, and therefore your grimy, miserable material emotions may reappear in your mind, and not your freedom from material existence, which the Namabhasa brought to you as a side effect. So that's another point. But our chanting is purifying us, even though we still have a few material desires rattling around in our brain. In one sense, these desires aren't us. We are not our body, we are not our mind, we are not our intelligence. We are part and parcel of Krishna, pure spirit. And these material desires, they have absolutely nothing to do with us. It's only due to illusion. We've developed a fondness for them because they've been ours. We consider them ours for so many years. We feel like we have an obligation to our material desires. But from the point of view of the Shastra, we actually owe nothing to these material desires. And in one moment we can say, just like somebody may be in a relationship they don't like, and it's finally gets to be too much, and they finally decide to break up with the person. So we can actually decide to break up with our material desires. We can decide we're disgusted by their association. They haven't done one thing for us, and we're going to walk away from them. Because the soul actually, in reality, has absolutely nothing to do with the whole material sphere, actually. So it's just to do, because of our past conditioning, our past karma, we're looking around in the mind. Actually, we don't actually own them. And we can pray to Lord Nrsingadev, just as you ripped apart the big demon Hiranyakashipu, please destroy my demoniac desires for fruitive work in this world, as Prahlad Maharaj prayed. And then we can continue chanting and hope for the best. So we have to end this class. Of course, Jayani Thakur is not here. Managed to squeeze a few extra minutes in. But if you have any questions, I work for Krishna.com Live Help. I have the persons that answers questions. And people can write me at my email address, kk@krishna.com. That's KK for Krishna, Kripa @krishna.com. And I will answer you within 3 days. Thank you for your kind attention. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai!